Hanju wiped out the Demon Master with a single strike, eliminating the hidden danger, and the terrifyingly strong wind it brought nearly blew Mahju and the others away. The sword energy arrived quickly and dissipated just as fast. When Mahju opened her eyes, she was shocked to find that the mountain peaks in front of her had been continuously flattened. Seeing neither the figure of the Demon Master nor sensing his demonic energy, the Demon Master had been annihilated instantly. Moing showed a look of terror, astonished that a half-step Mahayana realm monster of the 9th layer was instantly killed by a mysterious sword cultivator. How strong must the person who made the move be? Mafuchu felt fear as well. Only an immortal hiding among humans could probably kill a Mahayana realm cultivator in one strike. Fortunately, we did not agree directly, otherwise, we might have died as well. Mahju hurriedly bowed in all directions, saying, "Thank you, Senior, for your mercy." She feared another attack from the opponent. Hearing her words, Hanju couldn't help but laugh. Mafuchu looked at Moing and asked, "The Demon Master is dead. Ancestor, should you let go of your little schemes now? Where do we go next? You said before that the Ma family is very large. The only remnant in Great Swallow was a minor branch. With the main family encountering misfortune, various branches in other regions followed suit. However, there will always be survivors. In my view, we might as well search for our dispersed clan members across the world and then return together to the Ma family lands. As long as the Green Hills last, there will be no shortage of firewood." Moing understood that the demon race's fate had run its course. Even a Mahayana realm being was easily killed, let alone her mere tribulation crossing state. Thus, she agreed to Mafuchu's suggestion. Mahju asked, "Brother, don't you want revenge anymore?" Mafuchu patted his sister's head and said, "The calamities that befell our Ma family were all due to the demon race's schemes. If we truly seek revenge, we must wait until we are strong enough to contend with the demon race. For now, we can only start by searching for our clan members. This journey will surely be full of hardships. Who knows when we will gather all the clan members?" Mahju hesitated, wanting to say that since the Ma family was not seeking revenge, perhaps she could return to the Jade Pure Sect. But upon reflection, considering that the Ma family members still needed saving, she couldn't just walk away. After so many years, the relationships between Xinghongxian, Changyur, and Hanju must have grown closer, and she feared that she would become more distant from Hanju. Mahju felt conflicted and looked back in the direction of the Jade Pure Sect, her expression filled with loss. Inside the innate cave, Hanju felt much relieved. It's good that the Demon Master was killed earlier to prevent any further mischief. It affects his and his disciples' cultivation. But then again, just how strong is the demon race? Why don't the gods intervene? If Hanju were the lord of the celestial court, seeing the demon race attacking the mortal realm, he would understand that the demons are expanding their influence and would definitely intervene. Hanju suspects there might be problems in the higher realms. Otherwise, he would inquire with Zhang Gusheng. Hanju thinks it's feasible and begins to comprehend the 3 pure worlds extermination, simultaneously enhancing the essence of this divine ability while heading to the Way of the Sword River to find Zhang Gusheng. Hanju arrived at the Way of the Sword River, passing through the figures of swordsmen, and finally met Zhang Gusheng. "Brother, long time no see." Hearing this insincere voice, Zhang Gusheng knew who it was. "Are you freaking out of your mind? You're at the 3rd layer of the Mahayana realm and still haven't ascended?" Hanju helplessly smiled and said, "I have enemies in the higher realms, truly afraid to ascend." "So that's it. Then you came here to inquire about this matter, didn't you?" Hanju praised Zhang Gusheng for his insight, as he indeed came to inquire about the mortal world situation with the demon invasion. "Why don't the gods intervene?" Zhang Gusheng calmly said, "The higher realms are in chaos. The celestial court is too preoccupied to care about the mortal realm, but it won't be long before the celestial court restores order." "Chaos in the higher realms? Can the higher realms even be in chaos? What happened?" Zhang Gusheng explained. "A great demon saint emerged among the demon race, refusing to obey the celestial court and causing uproar there. This great demon saint might be backed by a powerful force, making it difficult for the celestial court to suppress him in the short term. But with the foundation of the celestial court, the situation will be resolved quickly. Just be patient." The 3 major powers in the higher realms are the Divine Palace, Heavenly Court, and the Buddhist sect. Following them are the Dragon, Phoenix, and Golden Crow divine clans, as well as the Qilin, Azura, and demon races as secondary forces. Below them, there are mysterious Dao sects and ancient immortal clans, etc. The era of the demon race has long ended, and the Demon Palace is only considered a secondary force in the higher realms. Hanju continued to ask, "After mortals ascend, do they directly join the Heavenly Court?" Zhang Gusheng said, "You wish. There are many Ascension platforms in the higher realms, connecting thousands of mortal worlds. Most mortals who ascend can only join a cultivation sect in the higher realms. Only a very few exceptionally talented individuals are noticed by major forces like the Celestial Court, Buddhist sect, or Divine Palace. You might consider that. When the time comes, how you choose will definitely be such a decision to make. It's your chance to pick sides. Once you choose, it's hard to change." Hanju continued to ask, "Which power do you think I should choose?" Zhang Gusheng rolled his eyes. "Don't try to be sly with me. I wander the heavens alone, without any power back attacking. Since you're human, it's best to choose the Heavenly Court or the Divine Palace. Hearing the words Divine Palace, Hanju remembered Moing Chi and then asked, Zhang Guxing, have you heard of the marvelous truth Divine Emperor? Zhang Guxing said he was a peerless war god of the Divine Palace. Although he has fallen, he was once an invincible existence among immortal emperors. But how would you, a mortal, know about the marvelous truth Divine Emperor? Hanju could only say it was a chance encounter that he heard about. He certainly couldn't say it was the system that told him. Hanju continued to ask, what was the relationship between the marvelous truth Divine Emperor and the Divine Palace? Zhang Guxing said he wasn't sure, but it is said that the fall of the marvelous truth Divine Emperor was related to internal strife within the Divine Palace. The marvelous truth Divine Emperor was besieged by many immortal emperors of the demon race, and not only did the Divine Palace not provide support, but after the marvelous truth Divine Emperor's fall, there were people within who fought over his legacy. The Divine Palace did not even create a statue for him. Hearing this, Hanju thought to himself that this was bad news. Moing Chi had deep-seated hatred for the Heavenly Palace, so the Divine Palace was not a suitable place to go. Zhang Guxing advised Hanju to ascend sooner rather than later, not to waste time. With Hanju's talents, as long as he joined a major force, those enemies would not trouble him. Zhang Guxing also gave Hanju a piece of advice. After ascending, do not venture into the world until you reach at least the level of Grand Unity Heaven Immortal. Hanju awkwardly smiled and said, Senior truly understands me well, but even if I reach the level of Grand Unity Heaven Immortal, I won't venture into the world. After all, my enemy is the Vermilion Bird. Zhang Guxing grabbed Hanju abruptly, unable to believe his ears. You say your enemy is the divine beast Vermilion Bird? Then you better not ascend. Better to pass away early and jump into reincarnation to cultivate anew. The Vermilion Bird clan is a fortune divine beast. Even the Heavenly Court, Divine Palace, and Buddhist sect would curry favor with them. If the Vermilion Bird troubles you, the three major powers would probably turn a blind eye. No matter how strong your talents, you climbed up from the mortal realm, you can't compare to someone with an esteemed lineage. Take my advice, jump into reincarnation, give up your cultivation, and live again with a new identity. Hearing this, Hanju completely lost his composure. He is not like Xing Hongxian, Chang Yuer, and other women who have someone to help them restore their memories after reincarnation. He can only rely on himself. Hanju asked Zhang Guxing if there was any other way. Zhang Guxing said, there is, but such a thing can only be obtained by great fortune. As I know, there's a type of spirit stone related to Heaven's Tao that can bypass the restrictions of Heaven's Tao. Even if you exceed the mortal realm's limits, you don't need to undergo tribulation crossing and can continue to stay in the mortal realm. Such spirit stones are not rare in the higher realms. Often deities descend to the mortal realm using these stones. However, the celestial court strictly forbids celestial beings from descending to the mortal realm, and if discovered, they will be dealt with according to heavenly laws. If you indeed have the fortune to find one, you can cultivate beyond the Vermilion Bird clan before ascending. Hanju listened and felt more and more familiar. A stone that can avoid Heaven's Tao. Isn't that my heaven-evading stone? Fang Liang, you truly are my little angel. With this, Hanju was completely reassured and could now cultivate in peace. Thank you, Senior, for your guidance. I'll visit you again next time. After bowing, Hanju passed by Zhang Guxing and continued forward. In a dark cave, Blood Demon Ancestor, White-Haired Demoness, and Greedy Demon Arhat were sitting in meditation opposite each other, their expressions extremely somber. Suspended between them was a crystal ball, within which demonic energy surged. Luo Chioma is dead, a chilling voice said. Blood Demon Ancestor took a deep breath and said, he was slain by a prodigy of the heavenly immortal manner. Not just him, we who serve the demon race are also gravely injured. Even the demon emperor has perished. The chilling voice followed, why serve the demon race? Are you planning to betray this world? Upon hearing this, the three venerables of the demon path remained silent. Wasn't it because the conditions offered by the demon race were too tempting? They didn't truly wish to serve the demon race. Fiendish Arhat sighed, Amitba, I'm done playing. I plan to ascend just like the demon lord did. White-haired Demoness asked him, are you content to just ascend like that? With your current cultivation, even if you ascend, you won't undergo a transformation. Fiendish Arhat acknowledged that he understood the rules of ascension. The higher the cultivation before ascension, the greater the increase in cultivation after ascending. But with my own strength, if I continue to stay in the mortal world, I probably only have a dead end. Rather than dying and vanishing, I'd rather live on up there. Don't ascend yet. Suddenly, the crystal ball flashed, and a figure projected out. Give it at most 500 years, I will personally descend to the mortal realm, and by then, annihilating the heavenly immortal manner, you can ascend afterward. This figure was the Extinction daoist. By then I will introduce you to sects in the higher realm, giving you support. The Extinction daoist threw out 3 bone-like magical treasures. Keep these well. When these objects glow, it will be the day I descend to the mortal realm. The eyes of Blood Demon Ancestor and the others brightened, as annihilating the heavenly immortal manner would be most favorable. The Extinction daoist instructed the 3 not to deal with the devil clan anymore. The heavenly court will soon take action against the demon race. 20 years swiftly passed. Since the day Su Chi returned home, enlightened Enlightenment sword had been expelled from the cave abode, forced to endure the elements on the mountain. She could never understand why her master had driven her out. If it had been because the main wives return, that would be one thing, but to keep a man in the cave abode was another matter entirely. As she was grumbling, Hanju called her into the innate cave and said to her, "You have suffered these past years. From now on, the cave is no longer off limits, and you can move in to live here." Enlightenment sword looked around the cave and did not see any trace of Suchi. Hanju pointed to a cellar-like cave entrance and told her, "Suchi has dug another cave within the cave abode, using it as his place for ascetic cultivation. It's underground and seals off, concentrating the spiritual energy more intensely." Hanju instructed Enlightenment sword to pass on an order. "From now on, unless I command otherwise, no one is allowed to disturb Suchi's ascetic cultivation." Hanju knew all too well how strong Suchi's negative buffs were and hoped the lad would be more settled underground. His breakthrough speed had been remarkably fast over these 20 years, and Hanju was quite satisfied. In at most 100 years, he would be able to reach beyond the Mahayana realm. Hanju took out the avoidance stone and carefully examined it, which inevitably reminded him of Fang Liang again. Hanju casually accessed his email to start checking. "Fang Liang, your grand disciple, ventured into an ancient forbidden area and gained the recognition of an unparalleled divine sword. He consumed a heavenly fruit that significantly boosted his cultivation and later entered the heavenly immortal manor, where he caught the eye of the sect leader and received a mysterious technique." Hanju carefully counted and realized that in just 20 years, Fang Liang had encountered 9 significant opportunities, which was quite extraordinary. Indeed, the fortune of a child of heaven and earth is so magical. By the time this lad returns, he might already be at the Mahayana realm. Just then, a telepathic message entered Hanju's ears. By the sound of it, it was Ascension who had come. "Fellow daoist Loki, I have just broken through to Mahayana. Let's come out and spar a bit." Just after breaking through to Mahayana, and he's already looking for trouble. This guy seems to have some serious issues. Out of caution, Hanju first conducted a simulated trial and still easily defeated him. After the great battle between the righteous and the fiendish forces ended, led by the heavenly immortal manor, many sacred lands united and forced the demon path into continuous retreat, like rats scurrying across the street. The righteous path sects also realized their shortcomings and offensive capabilities and began to cultivate their own prodigies. A host of newcomers emerged. Ascension, with his achievements of slaying Luo Chioma and annihilating numerous fiendish cultivators, was unmatched in fame, constantly topping the trending searches. However, the identity of the mysterious cultivator who killed the fiend emperor has yet to be revealed, preventing him from securely holding the title of the world's #1 cultivator. This became one of Ascension's few concerns. At this time, Ascension was waiting for Hanju in a forest thousands of miles away. He believed that his previous loss to the fiend emperor was because he had not reached the Mahayana level, which allowed fellow daoist Loki to take advantage of him. Now that he had broken through to Mahayana, he believed that annihilating the fiend emperor would be no issue, and winning against fellow daoist Loki should also be feasible. Just then, Hanju had quietly appeared behind Ascension, giving him a light tap. "Fellow daoist G, what are you muttering about?" Hanju then pinned Ascension against a tree. Ascension was utterly shocked. "When did he get here? I didn't notice at all." Ascension, in his quest to rightfully claim the title of the #1 in the world, had come once again to challenge Hanju. He had already defeated all the elders of the heavenly immortal mansion, not only earning the recognition of the heavenly immortal mansion, but also being considered for the position of sect leader of the heavenly immortal mansion. With the #1 under heaven at the helm of the heavenly immortal mansion, he would surely be able to command the righteous path under heaven. However, there were dissenting voices, with some believing that the title of #1 under heaven should belong to the mysterious cultivator who slew the demon emperor. Unless he is defeated, Ascension's claim cannot truly be considered the #1 under heaven. This hurdle remained ever present in Ascension's heart. "Fellow daoist Loki, I have comprehended a new divine ability in the higher realms. How about we decide once and for all who is superior?" Only then did Hanju understand that Ascension's departure from the mortal realm was for the sake of breakthrough, and the purpose of this breakthrough was to challenge him. However, from the simulated trial just now, Hanju had already seen that Ascension's new divine ability was just SOSO. At this moment, Hanju was hesitant, not about how to defeat Ascension, but how to avoid killing him. How much spiritual power should he use to spare his life? To Ascension, Hanju's hesitation seemed like fear. Knowing this, there was no need for a private contest. He should have sent a formal challenge and invited sects from all over to witness the fight, defeating him in full public view and naturally claiming the title of the #1 under heaven. While Ascension was indulging in self-admiration, Hanju cautiously asked, "If I win this time, will you still come to challenge me in the future?" Upon hearing this, Ascension immediately felt displeased. "What do you mean by that? You're being too cocky. It's impossible for you to win against me. I, Ascension, am invincible under heaven. Previously, it was only because I was in a lower realm than you, but now I will surely defeat you. Just use the move you used to slay the fiend emperor. I'll take it. Come on, hit me and try." Hanju Hanju was truly speechless. Why must young people seek their own demise? Isn't a promising future in the Mahayana realm worth cherishing? Yet Xianxin kept pressing. Are you afraid of losing to me? Today, you must accept the challenge. If you do not agree, I will settle down on this mountaintop. With no choice left, Hanju agreed to spar with him. However, the old rules still applied. They had to find an open space, as the flowers and grass on the mountain must not be harmed. In a short while, the two arrived at a barren area. After positioning themselves, Xianxin made the first move. This move was a lost secret technique of the upper realm's Buddhist sect, which returns damage to the attacker as long as it's not broken through. Xianxin confidently said, if you break through this move, I will no longer bother you in the future. However, no one in the heavenly immortal manner has been able to break this technique. You might as well realize it, fellow daoist Loki. After speaking, Xianxin immediately made a move, with spiritual energy forming a solid tower around him. However, Hanju worried whether Xianxin could withstand his sword finger. Then, Hanju slowly raised his right hand and extended his middle finger towards Xianxin, channeling 3/10 of his spiritual power into it. Xianxin arrogantly laughed. Is this the sword energy that slew the demon emperor? I thought your way of the sword was something extraordinary. Hanju remained silent and slowly increased his spiritual power to 50%. Xianxin instantly stopped laughing as cracks began to appear in the lightning tower surrounding him. He also felt that the fluctuations of spiritual power released by Hanju were still increasing. Could it continue like this? Could I withstand it? Would I die? Xianxin quickly dismissed the thought. How is that possible? I am the strongest prodigy in the history of the heavenly immortal manor. How could I possibly die? Seeing Xianxin stubbornly resisting, Hanju continued to increase the spiritual power of the mysterious yellow world-breaking sword finger. When he increased it to 80%, Xianxin was already struggling significantly. However, his arrogance clouded his judgment, and he released all his spiritual power, betting it all on his reflective armor. He was gambling that Hanju couldn't break his defense. In the final moment, Xianxin bet everything he had. It was also at this instant that Hanju increased his spiritual power to its full capacity, and the mysterious yellow world-breaking sword finger burst forth powerfully. He finally experienced the terror of Hanju. Hanju used 99% of his spiritual power, flicking his middle finger to unleash the sword finger. Xianxin suddenly called a halt, grabbing Hanju's middle finger. Hanju withdrew his hand, asking in surprise, fellow Daoist Ji, what's the matter? Xianxin, with slightly flushed cheeks, said, I just remembered, I left soup cooking at home and forgot to turn off the fire. I need to go back for a bit. Hanju cooperated fully. Forgot to turn off the fire? Then you must hurry back. Be careful with fire, especially in dry weather. Since fellow Daoist Loki doesn't want me to disturb you, let's spar some time when you're free. Farewell. After speaking, Xianxin turned and left, transforming into a fleeting shadow that quickly disappeared among the trees. Hanju shook his head with a chuckle. This young man, quite adaptable indeed. Just as Hanju was about to return to the innate cave, another old acquaintance came to visit. This time, it was Dooku. Dooku said he came to say goodbye. Hanju guessed that he was about to ascend and wanted to visit Su Qi before leaving. After all, they shared some camaraderie. Su Qi is also the last disciple of the monster-taming demon sect, and before his ascension, he must say goodbye as a way to sever ties with the mortal world. Seeing Dooku's sincere expression, Hanju felt somewhat helpless. It's not that I intentionally prevent you from eating, but I advise you to be cautious as you are about to ascend. In the blizzard of the Great Swallow's northern territory, the demon king Dian Su was kneeling in the snow, shivering. Standing in front of him was a massive figure, demanding he report on the situation at the Jade Pure Holy Sect. Dian Su, trembling, answered, an immortal resides there. The figure snorted, nonsense. How can an immortal stay in the mortal world? Dian Su assured earnestly, nowadays, across the entire world, the Jade Pure Holy Sect is definitely the most terrifying place. I even think it is more fearsome than the heavenly immortal manor. Upon hearing this, the figure fell silent for a moment, but then another voice arose from the left. Boss, we broke through the surface just to find that divine object that drew us here. Now that we have a clue, you can't back down. It's right, boss. We must consume that divine object. Another voice then came from the right. The figure spoke again, urging them to keep their composure. It expressed an unexplained sense of dread while traveling. The voices from the left and right expressed confusion. We are at the 6th layer of the Mahayana realm. Who in the world could kill us? True as that may be, this unsettling feeling does indeed exist. Listening to the three voices bantering back and forth, the demon king Dian Su felt uneasy, fearing that they might eat him in their frustration. Eventually, the three voices agreed. Let's enter the Great Swallow first. Then as we go, we'll investigate and get a clear picture of the Jade Pure Holy Sect. Suddenly, those massive eyes glared at Dian Su. Demon King, stand up. Let me have a look at you. Dian Su, his soul nearly flying out of fright, trembled as he propped himself up. That coat of yours is nice. Bring a new one for this king. And so, peace lasted for another half year. One day, the Nine Cauldrons sage came visiting, bringing the latest developments about the loud noise incident. Half a year ago, that loud noise was caused by the birth of an ancient ferocious beast within the demon race's territory. Hanju Hanju vaguely felt that the shaking of the Fusang tree was related to that fierce beast. Afterwards, 9 Cauldrons Sage took out the scouting information from ahead. A scout who is 1.5 meters tall reported that this monster is called the Three-Headed Worm King, and its bloodline is mixed. With wings, it can command the wind and summon rain, and its nature is cruel and its strength is extraordinary. It is said that this monster is looking for a divine object and is coming in the direction of our Great Swallow Northern region. At this, Hanju concluded that the monster was definitely targeting the Fusang tree. Hanju asked the scout if the monster was currently expanding its power. The scout said that the monster likes to devour its own kind and has been ostracized by its kind since the day it was born, with no one willing to serve it. 9 Cauldrons Sage and Li Qingzi sighed in relief. That's a relief. At least it won't start a major war like the Fiendish Path. Hanju turned his head to look into the distance, pondering in confusion. Since half a year has passed, why hasn't it come yet? Is it being cautious or plotting something? Hanju instructed the two to manage the sect affairs well. Let's not throw ourselves into disarray before the disaster arrives. Since he couldn't figure out what it wanted to do, he decided to solve it with the Book of Misfortune. Afterwards, 9 Cauldrons Sage talked about the recent developments of the Jade Pure Holy Sect. He intends to train Moing Chi as the top disciple of the Jade Pure Holy Sect, with the power to command all the disciples of the sect, having a status only below that of an elder, but with substantially more real power than an elder. Moing Chi really surprised 9 Cauldrons Sage, as he did not expect his talent to be so terrifying. Regarding this, Hanju had no objections and let 9 Cauldrons Sage handle it. 9 Cauldrons Sage even wondered whether the other disciples under Hanju were also so formidable, but he dared not ask further. It was already good that Hanju could have Moing Chi serve the Jade Pure Holy Sect. Perhaps years later, when someone asks who is the strongest in the world, it might only be ascetic Immortal Mountain. In a blink of an eye, 13 years had passed, and the Demon King had not yet arrived. Tourists had come first. The Great Swallow Cultivation World once again welcomed a makeshift long holiday. The tour guide led tourists from other regions and new disciples to pay homage at ascetic Immortal Mountain. Once you reach the statue of God-slaying Elder, you have reached the sacred grounds of the Jade Pure Holy Sect. You may worship here, but do not take a step further. Some new disciples were puzzled as to why so many people were kneeling here without rising, and the tour guide explained, in the past, several disciples of the God-slaying Elder have knelt here, and later generations wanted to emulate them to seize that soaring opportunity. We are not fortunate enough to witness the strength of God-slaying Elder, but the current strongest senior brother in the sect is his disciple. Just as everyone was listening to the tour guide's explanation, a figure in army green appeared among the crowd. The one who killed Zhu Do and the Green Python Great Sage was the God-slaying Elder himself. I found the right place. At the same time, Hanju also received a system notification. Now in the 5th level of the Mahayana realm, he looked at the notification and scoffed. 13 years, and you finally come. Three-Headed Worm King, 6th level of the Mahayana realm, a true dragon descendant. Quite an interesting background. Hanju's spiritual sense followed the trace of the aura and immediately locked onto the peculiar face in the crowd. So the Three-Headed Worm King looks just like this. In search of the divine Fusang tree, the Three-Headed Worm King had already arrived at the base of ascetic Immortal Mountain. Learning that it was a descendant of a true dragon, and to be on the safe side, Hanju decided to start with a simulated trial. Even though he had undergone countless simulated trials, Hanju still did not know just how vast this virtual space was. Looking at the enormous body of the Three-Headed Worm King before him, Hanju couldn't help but marvel. It's big, really big. In the moment he paused, the Three-Headed Worm King launched an attack, with its 3 dragon heads spewing devastating flames that instantly scorched a deep crack in the simulated trial ground. Although Hanju could easily dodge this strike, he also worried that it might flatten the Jade Pure Holy Sect. Given that the opponent was at the Mahayana realm level, he must not allow the opponent to take the initiative. To be safe, Hanju had the simulated opponent exert full strength while he himself dodged without counterattacking, wanting to see if the opponent really had a chance to injure him. However, Hanju was still disappointed. Even at full strength, the Three-Headed Worm King could not harm him in the slightest. Its huge physique was truly for naught. Hanju still relied on just one move, the Heavenly Earth Mysterious Yellow World-Breaking Sword Finger, to instantly kill it. After exiting the battle, Hanju noticed that the Fusang tree no longer swayed. He suspected that the tree was using a predation skill, luring the Three-Headed Worm King here to consume it. Hanju checked the position of the Three-Headed Worm King again, and found that the creature was still kneeling at the base of ascetic Immortal Mountain with other disciples, having concealed its aura so no one could detect its Mahayana realm. It seemed that the Worm King was still behaving. If it acted up, it would be directly annihilated and used as fertilizer for the Fusang tree. After kneeling for a year, Hanju felt that this could not go on any longer. So, he sent Sun Chang'an to fetch the Three-Headed Worm King. To prevent Sun Chang'an from getting into trouble, he had 2 golden crows accompany him for protection. Sun Chang'an was so scared he felt like his soul was scattering, as these 2 little ones had been a bit fiery lately. If they carelessly ignited the true sun fire, he would would instantly turn to ash. Yang Tiandong, who loved a good spectacle, mockingly said, "Oh, junior brother, you really have it tough. If you're scared, I could go to your place. You already have several disciples, and this time the master is asking us to fetch someone who is surely talented. If you find it bothersome, I could take them under my wing." The reason Yang Tiandong said this was because he was somewhat envious of Sun Chang'an. The talents of Moing Qi and Fang Liang made him extremely envious. He too wanted such disciples. Sun Chang'an wasn't foolish and guessed Yang Tiandong's underlying motives, but he didn't care. Honestly, he didn't want to take on disciples anymore. He felt like he was just a shell. His disciples were actually taught by his master, and it was clear that they respected his master more. If one day Hanju ordered Moing Qi and Fang Liang to kill him, he believed these two rascals would not hesitate. Unable to withstand Yang Tiandong's persistent cajoling, Hanju could only agree to let him go along as well. As for whose disciple the newcomer would be, that would be decided after they brought him back. At this moment, the three-headed worm king kneeling at the foot of the mountain felt increasingly frequent and intense palpitations. One head spoke up, "I think you're just scaring yourself. What threat could such a small, broken sect pose?" Another head smelled the scent of the Fusang tree, noting that the strange tree was at the mountain top and smelled very delicious. The three-headed worm king bowed even lower. "Calm down, both of you. I feel like things are not that simple." At this time, Sun Chang'an and another person arrived at the foot of the mountain. The tour guide, who was experienced and knowledgeable, recognized them at a glance as the direct disciples of God-slaying elder and kept shouting that God-slaying elder was taking disciples. Then, the guide suddenly knelt in front of them, repeatedly begging to be taken as a disciple. Sun Chang'an and Yang Tiandong ignored her. It's just that they didn't know who the master was going to take in at the moment. Yang Tiandong glanced at the densely packed crowd of kneeling people and criticized Sun Chang'an for not using his brain. "Are we supposed to ask each one in turn?" The two little golden crows, however, had an idea, for they smelled the scent of a powerful being in the crowd. In their golden crow divine tribe's view, the stronger the scent, the more delicious it was. The most delicious scent in the crowd came from this individual. Sun Chang'an and Yang Tiandong exchanged looks. If the golden crows said it was him, then it must be him. At this moment, upon seeing the two golden crows, the three-headed worm king's heart pounded violently, and the pressure from their bloodline made it dare not lift its head. Sun Chang'an bent down to help the worm king up, but the worm king saw the two unfriendly golden crows on his shoulders. Being able to tame golden crows as divine pets, just how strong is the god-slaying elder? The three-headed worm king cautiously asked. "May I ask the two seniors, who is the god-slaying elder?" Sun Chang'an said expressionlessly, "God-slaying elder is our master, and you are not yet worthy to meet him." Yang Tiandong smiled and said, "Young one, don't be anxious. If the master has sent us to bring you up, he must see potential in you." At this moment, inside the innate cave dwelling, the enlightenment sword also voiced its doubts. "Did I hear that the master is taking a new disciple? Don't listen to their nonsense. I just want to meet with this person face to face. I will not take him as a disciple. His cultivation level is already high enough." It's rare for enlightenment sword to hear Hanju praise others so highly. Anyone receiving such an evaluation from the master must truly be formidable. Little did he know, Hanju put down his teacup and smiled faintly. "Little sword, how about having such a strong person work as our security guard, watching the gate?" Hanju had his disciples bring the three-headed worm king up the mountain. The worm king, having no choice but to comply, followed Sun Chang'an and Yang Tiandong to the mountain. Along the way, Yang Tiandong boasted non-stop about how he had been a son to many demon kings, how he had defeated the Dian Su demon king among other great demons. The worm king found it quite annoying, thinking to himself, is the level of the Dian Su demon king even worth bragging about? As they neared the summit, the three-headed worm king caught sight of the Fusang tree and was amazed. Yes, this is it. This is exactly what I've been looking for." The other two heads couldn't contain themselves either. "Hurry, do it while they're off guard. We'll eat this tree and then run." However, the worm king managed to suppress his restlessness because that terrifying sense of palpitation was still present. At that moment, Hanju was observing the worm king's behavior through his spiritual sense and was surprised by his good self-control, being able to resist eating the bait. "Since they are so courteous, I cannot be rude." Immediately after, Hanju snapped his fingers, activating a teleportation array that brought the worm king right in. Yang Tiandong had been bragging all along the way, about to speak of taking on disciples, when he turned around only to find the worm king had vanished. At that moment, the worm king was completely baffled, as he was of the Mahayana realm, and forcibly transporting someone like him was not an easy feat. Upon first seeing Hanju, the worm king was dazzled. "Such a handsome man. It's my first time seeing such a beautiful face. Damn, what am I thinking?" The three-headed worm king knelt before Hanju, stating he had been ordered to come up the mountain to become a disciple, unaware of where the god-slaying elder was. Hanju smiled faintly, speaking softly, "Three-headed worm king, Mahayana realm level 6. I give you two choices. Become the guardian general of ascetic immortal mountain, where you can cultivate under the divine tree on normal days, or die." Hanju was not merely trying to scare him. The matter of the Fusang divine tree must not be leaked. If the worm king disobeyed, he had only one path left, death. At this moment, the three-headed Worm King was experiencing a storm of shock and awe inside. He had a life-saving divine ability to conceal his cultivation level and true self, so why was he still discovered? What did this mean? It meant that the other party was far stronger than him. Could this beautiful man be the god-slaying elder? The other two heads urged the Worm King to make a move to kill him unexpectedly. However, the three-headed Worm King had an intuition that if he were to stand up now, he would be the one killed, without even a chance to escape. The three-headed Worm King gritted his teeth and asked, "Who exactly are you, senior?" Hanju answered, "I come from the 6 realms of reincarnation. My body is not among the 5 elements, and my soul does not fall into reincarnation." The three-headed Worm King was impressed yet confused, while the other two heads were still hesitant. Are we really going to end up as his guard dog without understanding why? Hanju noticed their hesitation and slowly raised his middle finger. "Do you think I'm scaring you? Why not take one of my fingers? If you survive, you should give up." After saying this, Hanju instantly released his sword intent, the terrifying pressure causing the Worm King to quickly beg for mercy. He immediately bowed down, indicating that from then on, he would be the guardian general under the senior. As long as the mountain exists, so will he. If the mountain falls, so will he. Hanju stood up and approached him, touching his head and casually imbuing the 6 Paths ultimate seal. "Following me, you won't suffer a loss. This will be the greatest opportunity of your life." The three-headed Worm King hastily expressed his gratitude to Hanju, but he did not develop any fondness. It seems the Worm King still needs observation. If something is amiss, he will be executed immediately. Just then, Yang Tiandong hurriedly ran back, thinking about the person his master had sent him to fetch who had disappeared halfway. By chance, he encountered the Worm King walking out of the innate cave abode. Yang Tiandong asked in surprise, "Young man, how did you get here first?" Upon seeing him, the three-headed Worm King was annoyed. "Shut up, don't keep calling me young man. Who do you think you are?" Yang Tiandong exploded. "Even if the master has taken you in, we are still brothers, and moreover, I am your senior brother. No one dares to speak to me like that on this mountain." At that moment, Chaotic Heavenly Dog also came to help. "Disrespectful thing. I, the Holy One, will discipline you for our elder brother." The Worm King, not wanting to cause trouble upon his recent arrival, told them to get lost quickly. Doggy was relentless, insisting on a sparring match to test the strength of the Worm King. However, the outcome was decided in just one move. Chaotic Heavenly Dog didn't forget to write a blood letter. "The guy is at the 6th level of the Mahayana realm. Why the hell didn't you say so earlier?" The Worm King snorted coldly and said, "From now on, I am the guardian general of ascetic immortal mountain. Kid, do you still dare to call me your junior brother?" Yang Tiandong instantly cowered. "If you do not despise me, Yang Tiandong would like to honor you as my foster father." But he was kicked away by the Worm King in disdain. Years passed in a flash, and inside the innate sanctuary, 3 lines of text appeared before Hanju. "Detected, you are now 700 years old. Life has advanced further. You have the following choices. Emerge from seclusion now, create the greatest reputation under the heavens, and receive a spiritual treasure. Continue to cultivate, surpass the Mahayana realm early, and receive a Heaven's Dao Spirit Stone." Hanju did not hesitate and chose to continue cultivating. The Heaven's Dao Spirit Stone is good, as it can enhance magical treasures. Hanju took out the Book of Misfortune and began to upgrade it with the newly acquired Heaven's Dao Spirit Stone. The Book of Misfortune is his only treasure capable of remotely afflicting enemies from the upper realms, worth strengthening endlessly. Several days later, the integration with the Heaven's Dao Spirit Stone was successful. Your Book of Misfortune has been upgraded from a top-grade spiritual treasure to a Grand Unity Heaven Immortal Treasure. The Book of Misfortune is a karmic treasure. Please use it with caution. Grand Unity Heaven Immortal Treasure. But why did the system personally warn me? Could there be dangers in using it in the future? Hanju raised an eyebrow, suddenly feeling some regret. He carefully began to use the Book of Misfortune, cursing the Extinction daoist. He didn't dare to use too much spiritual power and decided to test the effects first. Little did he know that this time, using only 2 layers of his power, the cursing effect was 1,000 times stronger than before. Truly worthy of being a Grand Unity Heaven Immortal Treasure. Since it's so effective, he must make the Extinction daoist bleed. Hanju planned to curse him for 7 days and nights. As Hanju continued to curse, the Extinction daoist was having a tough time. In a small, dilapidated Taoist temple beyond the 5th ring of the upper realm, a sign reading Extinction hung on the door. A Taoist practicing meditation there suddenly vomited blood, looking utterly weakened. This person was none other than the Extinction daoist, master of the Green Python Great Sage, Luo Chioma's master, and Hanju's enemy. He opened his eyes, wiped the blood from his mouth, his face twisted with ferocity, and cursed through gritted teeth. "Damn it, who is cursing me? The power of this curse is getting stronger." The continuous days of cursing spawned a demon in his heart. The demon tempted him to stop being that person's pawn. What's so special about being a mere heavenly soldier? Little did he know, the Extinction daoist's cultivation was quite formidable. He casually eliminated his inner demon, but the continuous curses had already destabilized his foundation. If this continued, he feared he would die from a collapse of his foundation. The Extinction daoist gritted his teeth and fumbled in his bosom, pulling out a jade slip and pouring spiritual power into it. After a while, a green light ascended from the jade slip, followed by a voice. "What do you need from me?" The Extinction daoist hurriedly explained that he was cursed, causing his foundation to destabilize, and asked the elder to help him. The figure, quite surprised, calculated for a moment. The green light figure then asked in astonishment, "This curse is without root and trace. I can't calculate it. Have you offended any powerful being in the upper realms?" The Extinction daoist was both surprised and aggrieved. "I have been in seclusion since my ascension. How could I have offended anyone?" "How strange," murmured the green light figure. The Extinction daoist grew even more anxious, thinking, if even this elder couldn't figure it out, was he doomed? The shadowy figure suddenly thought of a possibility. Recently, the celestial court was attacked by a demon saint, and the demon clan took the opportunity to invade many mortal realms. You ascended less than 10,000 years ago. This curse might be related to the invasion of your mortal realm before your ascension. Extinction daoist was somewhat incredulous. "It's been so long. Can the mortal realm still affect me?" Extinction daoist knelt and said, "I only just learned that the mortal realm I came from was invaded by demons. I was planning to descend in a few hundred years to check it out." The shadowy figure agreed. "It would be good to descend earlier to understand the situation. When the time comes, you can provide intelligence to the celestial court." Then the shadowy figure shot a seal into Extinction daoist's chest. "This seal can help you block demon energy. Just hold on a little longer, at most 1,000 years, until the celestial court recovers. Then, the celestial court will cleanse the demon forces in the mortal realms. At that time, I will let you become a heavenly soldier, and you will undergo a baptism by heaven's Tao, and naturally, this curse will also be removed." Extinction daoist immediately thanked him and promised that he would do his utmost to gather information from the lower realms after descending. Shortly after, the shadowy figure disappeared. Extinction daoist carefully put away the jade slip. "Damn demons, daring to curse me," Extinction daoist thought angrily. Once he descends, he must thwart the demon's conspiracy. However, the mysterious curse continued, and he hoped he could survive until next month. Thus, Hanju continued to curse for 7 days. At the same time, Hanju also received his first system backlash warning. "Your lifespan has decreased by 44 years. Hanju was shocked and angry. "I've been working hard for immortality. What is this? You tell me this thing also reduces lifespan? That's half a lifetime for a normal person." The cost of this grand unity heaven immortal treasure was indeed too great. No wonder the system had warned him beforehand. Luckily, he had only used 20% of his power to curse for 7 days. Otherwise, who knows how much of the lifespan saved up through ascetic cultivation would have been wasted. At that moment, Hanju received another system notification. "Due to your curse, your enemy Extinction daoist has lost 10,000 years of lifespan and has developed a demon in his heart. 40 years for 10,000 years. This deal was simply too good. Killing an enemy at the cost of 100. If he used his full power to curse, wouldn't he be able to kill the opponent directly?" However, Hanju didn't want to take the risk. Although he had a lifespan of over 100,000 years, if he kept doing this, he would eventually harm himself. Next time, he would curse for no more than 6 days. The more Hanju thought about it, the more pleased he became. He planned to slowly wear down Extinction daoist and Vermilion Bird. As seasons changed and years passed, one day, someone came. A familiar figure appeared in the Jade Pure Sect territory. It was our child of heaven and earth, Fang Liang, returning. Child of heaven and earth Fang Liang had finished his external training and finally returned to ascetic Immortal Mountain. Unlike Su Qi, whose misfortune had killed many spiritual herbs, the moment Fang Liang stepped into Jade Pure Sect territory, these herbs gradually regained their vitality. The one thing on ascetic Immortal Mountain that Fang Liang missed the most was his master, Sun Chanen. When he had left the mountain for training, the person he had found hardest to leave was his master. As for those who went fishing every day and returned empty-handed, like the fat chicken, he didn't miss them much. And those who returned empty-handed hadn't caught any big fish since Fang Liang had left. Even using Yang Tiandong as bait wouldn't work. Sometimes they would joke that if they devoted their enthusiasm for fishing to cultivation, their realms might have been much higher. Although Doggy is a luck-bringing divine beast, he can only catch small fish and shrimp. His brought luck really isn't as good as Fang Liang's. As Fang Liang got closer to home, the fat chickens finally caught some big fish. Sun Chanen thought to himself, "The last time we caught such big fish was when that kid Fang Liang was here." The others didn't notice the change in luck, but the newly joined Worm King sensed a strong aura rushing straight towards ascetic Immortal Mountain. Sun Chanen also recognized that figure. "Isn't that my good disciple coming back?" As Fang Liang approached, everyone was surprised. Fang Liang had actually reached the fusion void realm. 2 little golden crows suddenly landed on Fang Liang's shoulders, affectionately rubbing against his face. Fang Liang curiously asked, "Who are these little ones?" "Dark Prison Chicken smirked. "They're my offspring. The master had caught me a beautiful firebird before." It hadn't finished speaking when the 2 little golden crows turned their heads to look at it, scaring it into silence. Worm King also noticed Fang Liang's exceptional qualities. This young man had abundant luck and a high cultivation level for his age. Are all the disciples under the god-slaying elders such prodigious talents? Of course, that excludes the foolish Yang Tiandong. strong. At the same time, Hanju saw a line of text appear before him. Three-headed Worm King has developed a fondness for you. Current affection level is 2 stars. Hanju felt there was something off with the three-headed Worm King, as if there was something wrong with his brain. The affection seemed utterly random. Hanju didn't pay much attention to it. He was also eavesdropping on Fang Liang's stories. If Su Qi is the protagonist of a tumultuous cultivation novel, then Fang Liang is like the protagonist of a thrilling fantasy saga. Over the years, the times he was seriously injured were few. Mostly, he roamed freely, with opportunities continuously coming his way. His cultivation had broken through to the fusion void realm. Everyone was impressed after hearing this. Even Moing Qi had some admiration. However, the fat chicken was not convinced, repeatedly claiming that Fang Liang's strength was just a result of fleeting luck. If Chicken Lord here decided to leave the mountain, I would break through even faster. Moing Qi knew the fat chicken was itching for a fight again and planned to team up with Fang Liang to spar with it. The fat chicken wasn't foolish. Seeing these two talents, it dared not speak further. All bark and no bite. If it really came to a fight, it would be the one to suffer. At that moment, laughter came from behind the group. Fat chicken, you really need to practice more. You're no match for Fang Liang now. Everyone turned towards the sound, and to their surprise, Hanju had come out of seclusion. Hanju asked Sun Chang'an to heat up some skewers for him, adding plenty of cumin and chili powder. Seeing his grandmaster, Fang Liang immediately knelt down, extremely moved, even feeling a surge of tears. Hanju smiled and asked, "How do you feel about your training experiences? Grandson has become a prodigy in the heavenly immortal mansion, received various great opportunities, and has comprehended many profound teachings." Hanju smiled and asked, "Since it's been so fascinating, why did you suddenly come back?" "I no longer need further opportunities. Compared to training outside, I prefer to cultivate in front of my master's knee and pursue the true path of immortality, so I came back." Hanju thought about it, and indeed, Fang Liang no longer needed more opportunities. Now, he had all the necessary techniques, divine abilities, spells, and magical treasures. He just needed to continue accumulating his cultivation. Hanju nodded. "Since you've decided, then cultivate well. From now on, feel at ease cultivating here on the mountain." At this time, all the disciples of ascetic immortal mountain had returned home, and everyone enjoyed a hearty feast. Enlightenment Sword looked at Hanju and asked, "Master, should I go out and gain experience?" Fang Liang's experiences had excited everyone, and they too wanted to seize various opportunities. Hanju asked, "Why do you want to gain experience?" "To gain opportunities." "What use are opportunities?" "To become stronger." "Why do you want to become stronger?" "To protect Master." "Do I need your protection?" Enlightenment Sword thought carefully. "It seems that's true." Enlightenment Sword was confused. "Then what is my purpose in existence to Master?" Hanju answered seriously, "It is companionship." With those words, everyone fell silent. Hanju didn't say more and stood up to return to the innate cave abode. Worm King was puzzled. Why did the atmosphere suddenly change like that? Yang Tiandong slowly explained the reason. Because the time left with Master is not much. Even the highest cultivated little golden crow among us can't see through Master's cultivation, which means he has reached the ultimate level of the human realm. His ascension isn't far away. And what will we do then? As everyone was worried about Hanju's impending ascension, someone unfortunate missed this barbecue. "What's that smell? Why does it smell so good?" Worm King, who had been silently observing everyone, voiced his doubt. "Master's ascension is his business. What does it have to do with you? Why don't you continue your cultivation? With your current strength, you could leave here and start your own sect. Why must you follow him so closely?" Moing Qi thought for a moment and then spoke his reason. "Although I aspire to be unrivaled under the heavens, to live leisurely, one must be immensely strong. The path that Grandmaster walks is the eternal and indestructible way, which also requires immense strength for immortality. This aligns with my aura thoughts. Moreover, since following Grandmaster, we have avoided many detours, and this kindness cannot be forsaken." Worm King nodded. "I see, but you can rest assured. In my view, Master's delay in ascending is probably deliberate. Delaying ascension has its benefits. Tribulation crossing ascension and peak Mahayana realm ascension are completely different in terms of strength. The strength limit after ascension is also vastly different. According to ancient texts, above Mahayana there are realms like Scattered Immortal, Earth Immortal, Celestial Immortal, True Immortal, Mysterious Immortal, Golden Immortal, and Immortal Emperor, and these are just the recorded ones. There are unknown many more levels. If you ascend at the Tribulation crossing stage, even if you skip the Mahayana realm and become a Scattered Immortal, your actual strength will still be weak, and the highest you can reach is Earth Immortal. But ascending from the Mahayana realm is different. With the foundation of 10,000 years in the human world, you can immediately become a high-level Scattered Immortal upon ascending, and even have a chance to directly advance to the Earth Immortal realm. The upper limit is an endless thing, depending on the cultivator's own qualifications. The upper limit of strength will continue indefinitely as one's qualifications and foundation strengthen. This is also why, even though I am at the 6th level of the Mahayana realm, I am reluctant to ascend. If you want the Tao to last long, you need to settle and settle again. The Mahayana realm is the peak in the human world, but it means nothing in the upper realms. The upper realms are full of crises, operating relying on the principle of the survival of the fittest. If your strength is not sufficient, you might not even be able to cultivate peacefully. Instead of suffering right after ascending, it's better to settle for 1,000 or 10,000 years in the relatively safe mortal world before ascending. What you mentioned earlier about ascending from the tribulation crossing stage is indeed a rash act. Of course, it does not exclude the scenario where one must ascend to extend their life due to impending doom. At least in the Mahayana realm, there is some ability to defend oneself, and no one wants to be directly targeted right after ascending. This spread of knowledge left everyone spellbound. Worm King speculated that Hanju would continue to consolidate in the human world, and this period would be at least 1,000 years. Worm King said this was just his personal speculation, and how long you can stay depends on the relationship between you and your master. Since you are his disciples, you should cherish this time and cultivate well, then accompany him well. But even if we limit it to 1,000 years, do you few have the confidence to achieve the Mahayana realm? Upon hearing this, everyone showed a mischievous smile. Big Dumpling, you still don't know that we don't keep idlers here. If we really cultivate well, maybe we can ascend with him. Worm King nodded again. Not bad. I also understand why he took you as disciples. You not only have decent talents, but also good temperaments and ambition. The fat chicken pursed its lips proudly. Look at that. We still have plenty of time. I've been following the master for nearly 600 years, and when he adopted me, he was only at the nascent soul realm. If us brothers cultivate diligently for 1,000 or 1,800 years, reaching the tribulation crossing and Mahayana realm should be stable, right? Worm King was shocked. What did you say? Nascent soul realm? Just how old is the master this year? The fat chicken stroked its chubby chin. I really can't remember how old the master is exactly, but all things considered, he must be around 700 years old. Worm King was dumbfounded. With such qualifications, why is he still settling? You guys better go and cultivate right now. 19 years passed in a blink, and Hanju broke through to the 7th layer of the Mahayana realm. His usually calm heart finally felt a stir. Mahayana realm 7th layer. The ceiling of the human world was near. At most 20 years per minor realm. Maybe after 50 years, he could surpass the Mahayana realm. It's really exhilarating. However, Hanju felt a vague unease in his heart, as his cultivation had been going too smoothly recently. His unease stemmed from his insights into Heaven's Tao, as if it was some kind of premonition. Could there be another complication coming? He opened his social media and noticed that recently everyone seemed to be on a high. It was all news about friends gaining opportunities. Hanju's brows furrowed slightly, his unease intensifying. Things are going too smoothly, unusually so. I need to ask Big Brother. Hanju began to comprehend sword intent. It was a good time to enhance his reincarnation sword intent. Soon, Hanju arrived again at the way of the Sword River. He quickly approached Zhang Gushing. Zhang Gushing was annoyed upon seeing him. What are you doing here again? Hanju got straight to the point. Senior, recently, many great fates have emerged in the mortal realm, all gaining opportunities at the same time. Do you think this is reasonable? Zhang Gushing replied. It's normal to have people with great fate in the mortal realm, and there are many in the upper realms too. But having great fate doesn't necessarily make one strong, and strong people don't always have great fate. You might be overthinking it. Hanju expressed that he still felt uneasy, even feeling as if Heaven's Tao was subtly warning him. Heaven's Tao, although just a set of rules, is not a rigid object after all. Wait, there is indeed another possibility. Just as people have a moment of clarity before death, so does Heaven's Tao. After saying this, he began searching for something. The mortal realm's Heaven's Tao might sense trouble approaching, which could be an act of self-preservation by Heaven's Tao. If there's trouble in the mortal realm, major changes could happen. Hanju felt even more uneasy, but so far, no trouble had appeared in the mortal realm. Zhang Gushing suggested that Heaven's Tao's self-preservation might be related to a demon clan invasion of the mortal realm. If the mortal realm has too many demons and the demon path prevails, the celestial court might need to purge the demons. Hanju asked, what will happen then? Then the celestial court will send down countless celestial beings to fight, and might even destroy this mortal realm entirely. Hanju was shocked. The word destroy uttered so casually. Zhang Gushing said, Heaven's Tao is a rule, but never think of it as too simple. Hanju angrily said, celestial court destroys the mortal realm, and the other powers in the upper realm just watch. So what? Have you considered how vast this universe is? Thousands of mortal realms are like dust in the galaxy. Destroying one doesn't make a ripple in the upper realm. Even if a mortal realm is destroyed, it just means that the beings there re-enter reincarnation. Can such a ruthless celestial court still be considered a celestial court? Zhang Gushing waved his hand. How many races have you mortals destroyed? Like today, when you were enhancing your sword techniques, do you know how many anthills in the mountains were destroyed by your spiritual power? To maintain its rule, the celestial court doesn't care about destroying a few mortal realms. Zhang Gushing patted Hanju, finding his mortal perspective somewhat amusing. Put simply, it's the survival of the fittest. Whoever sets the rules calls the shots. Hanju continued to ask, how long until the celestial court begins to cleanse the demons? Zhang Gushing replied, it could be a few hundred to 1,000 years, not too long. The forces behind the demon saint are about to reach an agreement with the celestial court. It's a pity that the demon saint is still in the dark. Hanju bowed in thanks. Hanju's spiritual sense returned from the way of the sword river to his physical body, and he continued to solidify his understanding of the reincarnation sword intent. The pressure from the celestial court was enormous. It had been a long time since Hanju had felt such pressure. He sent Enlightenment Sword to summon Fang Liang into the cave, while he took out the Book of Misfortune and began to curse Vermilion Bird and Extinction daoist. After learning the harsh truth of the survival of the fittest in the upper realms, Hanju was even less eager to ascend. It was safer to eliminate enemies above first. Soon, Fang Liang entered the innate cave, asking his Grandmaster why he had been summoned. Hanju instructed Fang Liang to immediately send a message to the heavenly immortal mansion, but not to use his name. Fang Liang did not understand why. Recently, many prodigies have been continuously gaining great opportunities, but it's obviously too smooth to be normal. After communicating with heaven and earth and calculating, I discovered that this is a last light scenario prompted by heaven's Tao's self-preservation. Fang Liang, still young, did not understand the concept of last light. Hanju explained, it means there is an impending crisis that could destroy the world. Tell the heavenly immortal mansion that you are guided by a terrestrial immortal. The celestial court in the upper realm is preparing to destroy the mortal realm, forcing everyone to enter reincarnation and be reborn. The only way to avoid this calamity is to rally the cultivation world to completely eradicate the demon forces. If the heavenly immortal mansion asks why, tell them that during the celestial court's demon purge, we might be mistaken for demon-affiliated forces and meet a similar fate. Fang Liang's face turned pale, asking, Grandmaster, is this true? When will the celestial court act? At most 1,000 years. Remember, at most. If there are changes in the upper realm, it might happen sooner rather than later. I will immediately send the message to the heavenly immortal mansion and will not reveal that it was Grandmaster who said this. After speaking, Fang Liang hurriedly left. Enlightenment Sword curiously asked, Grandmaster, is this really a premonition from heaven's Tao? Master, how do you know about the upper realm? I have connections in the upper realm. What kind of connections? Indescribable. In Enlightenment Sword's mind, Hanju's stature rose even higher, now towering like an 8 or 9-story building. Soon, Guchenin, who was engrossed in making soup in the heavenly immortal mansion, received the message, which was said to be from Fang Liang. Hearing it was Fang Liang, Guchenin was somewhat surprised. Fang Liang was currently ranked 6th among the young generation in the heavenly immortal mansion, and his ranking was still rising. Even the mansion's lord had said his talent was second only to his own. Now that he had been out and not returned for some time, could it be that he was in peril and seeking help? Guchenin opened the transmission jade slip, and Fang Liang's panicked voice came through. Elder G, there is trouble. I met a terrestrial immortal who told me to share a crucial secret with you. Fang Liang repeated Hanju's words in detail. Guchenin, being one of the top prodigies, also felt that the recent continuous great opportunities were somewhat suspicious, so he immediately notified the mansion lord to initiate a heavenly inquiry to confirm the situation. If it was as the message said, then the crisis in the mortal realm was indeed not to be underestimated. Then all races under the heavens must set aside past grievances and unite to eradicate the demon path. 2 years later, in a dark cave, blood demon ancestor, white-haired witch, and greedy demon Arhat sat together with a sphere of demon energy hovering between them. Venerable One, the righteous path has suddenly united, and the demon path is suffering greatly. If this continues, within a few hundred years, not to mention reviving our kind, even the demon path itself may be completely eradicated. A cold voice came from within the demon energy. Fear not, I will soon send a group of true demons. They will surely bloodbath the heavenly immortal mansion and intimidate the minor players of the righteous path. Blood demon ancestor bowed his head and remained silent. You just continue what you are doing. Once I take control of this mortal realm, you will all be credited as contributors. As the voice finished, the demon energy dispersed. Greedy demon Arhat frowned and asked, Blood demon, why are you still in contact with the demon clan? Didn't Elder Extinction tell us not to get involved with demon clan matters? White-haired witch shook her head. It's not that we want to get involved, but if we wait any longer, without Elder Extinction coming down, we might end up dying at the hands of Guchenin. Guchenin is now very powerful and has become a significant threat to us. The three of us together are no match for him. Greedy demon Arhat also fell silent. Blood demon ancestor sighed. We have become mere pawns. Ambitions aren't worth mentioning anymore. All we want is to survive. White-haired witch also sighed and said, Blood demon once tried to ascend to escape, but unfortunately his attempt was forcibly interrupted. Now, even if we wanted to ascend, there's nowhere left to undergo the tribulation crossing. The heavenly immortal mansion is watching us too closely. The only option now is to barely survive under the demon clan's wing. Greedy demon Arhat gritted his teeth. Damn it, could it be that the demon lord ascended because she received some prior information? When she ascended, the heavenly immortal mansion didn't interfere, so why is it so difficult when it's our turn? Mentioning the demon lord, all three were resentful. You could ascend, so why didn't you take us with you? After a moment of silence, Blood demon asked again, Greedy demon Arhat, when will Extinction daoist finally come down? If he doesn't give us a clear signal soon, white-haired witch and I won't wait any longer. Greedy demon Arhat stated he didn't know. Elder Elder hasn't contacted me directly. Blood Demon was furious. I say, damned Extinction is unreliable. If those so-called true demons from the demon clan can hold off the heavenly immortal mansion, I will ascend immediately, not staying a moment longer in this mortal realm. But didn't Elder Extinction say he would find us a backing in the upper realm? Aren't you tempted? Backing? Greedy demon Arhut. Did they sew straw into your head when stitching it up? You actually believe the pie in the sky Extinction paints for you? Blood Demon angrily left the cave. If you don't ascend with us, be careful, you might regret it too late. Greedy demon Arhut fell silent again, feeling there was reason in what the other two said, yet he also hoped that Elder Extinction would come down soon. Just then, a voice came from a magical artifact, sounding like it was coughing continuously, as if severely injured. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. Greedy demon Arhut recognized it as Extinction Daoist's voice and hurriedly asked, Elder, are you injured? Extinction replied, no, just some complications in my cultivation recently. I'm not refusing to come down, I'm just waiting for a high-ranking official from the Celestial Court. I heard everything you and those two said. Just obey me, and once you ascend, I'll take care of you and ensure your rapid rise in the upper realms. Greedy demon Arhut immediately gave thanks, and with some embarrassment asked, Elder, could you perhaps reveal when you will descend? I'm afraid I might not be able to hold on much longer. Extinction told him, at most 100 years. Hearing that it would still be 100 years, Greedy demon Arhut was truly speechless. Extinction continued to instruct Greedy demon Arhut, you just need to continue sending true demons from the demon path and must not get personally involved. If you get too deeply involved, I won't be able to protect you when the time comes. After the communication cut off, Greedy demon Arhut fell silent again. 100 years, to endure Guchenin's pursuit for another 100 years, was undoubtedly a great challenge. What if I encounter Guchenin? Can I defeat him? I can't. Meanwhile, 15 years had passed since Fang Liang contacted the heavenly immortal mansion. In these 15 years, the demon path lost all its glory, becoming public enemies, chased by the righteous path across the world. Not just the prodigies of the righteous path like Guchenin, but even Zhou Fan had reincarnated and recultivated, joining the demon eradicating forces. Prodigies from various races emerged, uniting to show their resolve to the Celestial Court. Of course, some prodigies were too unique, leading to them being ostracized by allies of the righteous path. Ending a phase of ascetic cultivation, Hanju habitually checked his social media feed to catch up on the news. Reading through, he saw that the demon cultivators had suffered heavy casualties. Hanju felt no sympathy. He was no saint. The righteous and demon paths had always been irreconcilable. When the demon path had swept through the righteous path previously, many sects were annihilated and countless people suffered at the hands of demon cultivators. By this time, Hanju had reached the 8th layer of the Mahayana realm. Hanju didn't place all his hopes on the righteous path. He still needed to become stronger himself. Since places like the heavenly immortal mansion had already taken charge of this matter, he could continue his cultivation in peace. Just then, Nine Cauldrons sage came to visit. Seeing him badly injured, Hanju guessed that Nine Cauldrons must have joined the demon eradicating army. Nine Cauldrons immediately asked Hanju to take charge for the Jade Pure Sect. The heavenly immortal mansion has learned that the Celestial Court is going to purge the demons from the mortal realm, and soon the mortal realm will be caught up in the demon path's troubles. Calamity is upon us. Now the heavenly immortal mansion is using the guise of saving the mortal realm, ordering sects all over to hunt down the demon path, indiscriminately sending our Jade Pure Sect disciples, resulting in many casualties. Nine Cauldrons suspected the heavenly immortal mansion was seizing the opportunity to suppress the Jade Pure Sect, but Hanju waved his hand and told him, this information is true. Let our Jade Pure Sect contribute as much as we can. The righteous and demon paths have always been irreconcilable, and the deities of the upper realm are like the righteous path's top bosses. Now that the top bosses suspect their subordinates of colluding with the enemy, we, as subordinates, must show our stance, or we will definitely be purged too. I believe you can understand the concept of a shared human destiny. Nine Cauldrons immediately understood and said he would arrange for the disciples to continue eradicating demons and defending the path. Hanju assured him to proceed boldly. With him at the helm, the Jade Pure Sect had nothing to worry about. After Nine Cauldrons left, Hanju knew well that relying on others was inferior to relying on oneself. He needed to hasten his cultivation to reach the 9th layer of the Mahayana realm. When the time came, if the Celestial Court was determined to destroy the mortal realm, he also needed to be powerful enough to protect himself. If it comes to it, I could take ascetic immortal mountain and hide in the netherworld. Hanju could also jump to other realms. After all, he chose the reincarnation sword immortal path. However, traveling to other realms, he could only go alone, unable to take others with him. Moreover, he knows nothing about these other realms and cannot choose which one to jump to. In other words, once he uses the reincarnation divine ability, where he lands in the other realm is completely random. Therefore, unless absolutely necessary, he wouldn't choose to jump to another realm. As he pondered, Hanju felt a familiar presence. Having hidden for so long, it's about time to come out for some air, isn't it? Gee, my brother, after decades, Guchenin's presence had more than doubled in strength. Don't worry. hurry, fellow daoist. I only came for a small gathering. I'm not here to challenge you this time, but I've brought something I promised you last time. With that, Extinction pulled out a pot of soup, my signature dish, Tianqing water snake soup. Please, fellow daoist, have a taste. As Hanju lifted the soup, he exclaimed, to think that the world's #1 cultivator also has this side to him. No sooner had he taken a sip, Hanju instantly felt his realm almost destabilize. This man's culinary skills could truly be considered the best in the world. The flavor of the soup penetrated his limbs and reached deep into his soul. Just then, Extinction suddenly spoke. I'm here on behalf of the Heavenly Immortal Mansion to invite you to join, to take a position as an elder of the Heavenly Immortal Mansion. Would you accept? Thanks for the kind offer from the Heavenly Immortal Mansion, but no need. Why not? Gold and silver nests are not as good as one's own doghouse. Hanju's words left Extinction stunned. What kind of response is that? Extinction urged Hanju not to refuse hastily. The Heavenly Immortal Mansion has discovered a barrier set up by the demon path, which has connected to an unknown realm, likely related to the demon clan. We've previously encountered worlds opened by the demon clan, and I've even gone into fight. Would you be interested in joining me to battle the demon clan? Such realms often contain resources the demon clan provides for the demon path's cultivation, and you might find treasures you need. As Hanju continued eating, he replied, even you can break into their realm. Are the demons that weak? Hearing this, Extinction became angrily embarrassed. What do you mean by that? Hanju awkwardly coughed. I'm not belittling your Heavenly Immortal Mansion, but shouldn't the demons be stronger than mortals? Otherwise, why would the demon path revere them? Extinction explained, the real demons are trapped in the netherworld. They can only send some true demons to preach here. The strongest true demon we've encountered was about at the 9th layer of the Mahayana realm. Then I'm even less interested. I wish you all the best. Hanju pointed to the distance. Look there, fellow daoist, that's the Jade Pure Holy Sect bus station. You should hurry along. No need for a long farewell. Resigned, Extinction had no choice but to pack up and leave, casually asking Hanju, does Fang Liang have anything to do with you? I saw him on ascetic Immortal Mountain. Hanju pretended to say, I'm not very familiar with Fang Liang. He just stopped by as a guest. Extinction remarked, this young man, at the Fusion Void Realm, has even gained the approval of an ancestor's remnant soul, a treatment not even I have received. Hanju wanted to inquire how Fang Liang made it onto the genius list, and Extinction indicated that it would require going back to the story of the Celestial Combat Tournament from years ago. That year, Fang Liang drew a very unfavorable lot, facing Jilingchan, who was then ranked 5th on the genius list in the Union Realm. Logically, the situation should have been one-sided, but Fang Liang overturned everyone's expectations. He used some bizarre technique learned from who knows where, not to mention its effectiveness in actual combat. Just on aura alone, he surpassed Jilingchan. Fang Liang not only inflated his physical body to several times its size in an instant, but his realm also soared to the Union Realm in a moment. Frankly speaking, that was the manliest and toughest moment for Fang Liang. Jilingchan didn't even have time to think before he was knocked down by Fang Liang's punch, severely injured and required 3 years of recovery. Since you say you're not close to him, then I'm relieved. This young man has a powerful talent, and now many say he will eventually surpass me, which I cannot tolerate. I was planning to take him down a notch. Hanju slightly smiled. I see, fellow daoist, I just remembered, you won't be able to touch him. He's my disciple. Extinction was taken aback.